Hello.
Hi,
Wel-
welcome back.
Welcome, fellow adventurers, to the MGM Adventures podcast hosted by Matt.
And Gina,
Well, this is going to be a fun episode diving into
I won't
how
talk much,
do we plan road trips. You are going to be talking.
but I don't plan them.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be interesting. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today. First off, make sure to like, follow, and share wherever you're listening.
Yeah,
That'd be helpful. Also, make sure to send us any questions, feedback, whatever, mgmadventures@yahoo.com, or just leave us a comment on YouTube or directly through one of our social channels.
for sure.
Okay, what are we talking about?
The headliners
And that,
is
what is it?
planning road trips.
Yeah. Is this going to
Should
be
have road trip music or something.
I might put some in. We'll see. So, number one, this may not work for everybody. Fully understand that. This works for us. A lot of people's asked us about this because we do travel a lot. And a lot of the times we do take a road trip. Now, we'll probably do a follow-up episode of how we do something with a flight, but a lot of this is going to be similar for like when we're in a location also. So hopefully this makes sense. Again, this may not work for everybody. I know people do it differently, but this will be a little bit of a sneak peek behind the curtain per se.
Of Matt's curtain, not mine.
Yeah. So use what makes sense. That's helpful. That's what I'll say. Number one, use what works for you. But if you want to use something, fine, use it. Of course, it's probably not surprising.
Shocker moment.
We normally focus on traveling to
Parks.
theme parks. Yeah. Shocker. Now, this strategy that I use really would work anywhere that you're going. We have used it. You may have noticed we've gone to some direct cities recently, and I use the same strategy. I really do, just to kind of help plan some things. And, kind of the first main important thing is to determine number one, where are we going? And then I
Hey,
start.
I have to say, we do plan stuff not around theme parks.
We do.
Very rarely, but we do.
We've planned city visits with a theme park day, and then the rest of it's the city. So we've done that too. And this is the same strategy for all of this.
Correct.
So it's the same stuff. But basically, the first thing you're going to want to do, particularly this is a road trip focused one, you're going to pick your destination. And what I use first is Google Maps. And I will put that destination in Google Maps and then figure out where is this? How far away is this from us? What am I dealing with? That kind of thing. And then kind of start to map out how long it's going to take to get there and, breaking it down by that. And obviously, we've talked about our limits before. So, like, if it's a certain location that we've never been to, I'm going to take those limits, put those into my, into the Google Map timeline and say, okay, well, I can go about 5 hours after work, right? And then and then just 5 hours and then start finding a hotel around there. And then, what's our next place? Where do we want to get? That kind of thing. Also, because of theme parks, you got to figure out what theme parks are on the route, right? I mean, that just makes sense.
And if we've ever been there, because if we've never been there, of course, we're going to stop.
Right. Or, we also do look up other things on the way too. But the RCDB.com or the roller coaster database has this wonderful thing where you can see parks nearby and then it tells you how far away it is. So I use that. And then I put that into Google Maps and see how that works. I also use LogRide as well because it has an explore function. So if you're doing theme parks, those are the best for sure.
Is the explore function part of the free log ride?
It
or
is.
it?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Explore is part of the free one. Some of the stat stuff is not
Gotcha.
that we have. Yes, we do pay for LogRide. I don't remember how much it is. It's not very much. But and we'll talk about LogRide in a separate episode because counting coasters probably should be an episode. But anyway, and how we do that. But so using those and kind of just picking that out, I also take all of this and stick it in a Google Excel sheet pretty much, and then start kind of mapping everything out and say point A to point B, that's X number of miles. That's so much that I also do consider. I know approximately how long both of our cars can drive without getting gas. We did get a new car, so I'm recalculating it with that one a little bit. But I have a basic idea of how far we could make it and how far I could normally make it, which is, again, I think in the other episode we talked about 3 hours or so. That makes sense. If it's a very long trip, like a long trip,
Florida.
like Florida, or and I'll talk about this more when we went to Mount Rushmore. I don't want to drive that the whole way, so I'm probably going to make a stop somewhere, at least get out and walk around for a couple hours
Yeah.
and then go somewhere. So, depending what makes sense, theme parks, of course, with our passes, that's easy to do. With most places, we did on the large trip, we did find some pay per ride parks. That was also easy for that. So that helped.
And you may ask what I'm doing during
Yeah.
this.
What's she doing?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely.
So I normally map it out, save it. I mess around with this, right? I tweak it as it makes sense in an Excel sheet mostly. That makes the most sense for me. I put the location, the distance from the previous location. If I added something in, I added another distance column in there and a time, and then kind of just map it out that way. And we'll talk about the Mount Rushmore trip because that's one that was kind of crazy to do. Um, but that one, that was a unique one. We'll get there in a minute. So that's, I mean, basically what I do. And to be clear, if she does do something, I say, "Hey, what about this?" And I give this to her, and she decides, should is this a good idea or a bad idea? So
Most of the time, it's a good idea.
yeah, sometimes it's
Sometimes I'm
crazy.
like, absolutely not.
Yeah, sometimes we have to. We did the the biggest road trip we've done for sure was going to Mount Rushmore, and so there were
Pretty
many.
sure it's not Canada.
That one was big, but this one was bigger, I think.
Okay.
There was some weird border crossing things I would do differently now, but yeah, that's about what I do. We also, we do pick out where we want to stop, that kind of thing. We do mix in zoos, other amusements,
Aquariums,
aquariums.
roadside
Yeah,
attractions.
Bucky's. That's also
Mm,
important. If there's a Bucky's,
we're stopping.
you know, Bucky's are not everywhere.
They're not.
They're not. I do stop at if I'm going east, I'm stopping at Sheetz for sure.
Yes, I love sheets so
Uh,
much
West is probably Pilot, to be honest, or Loves. I those I treat about the same. It just
until you
depends what
get
makes sense.
to
What
Missouri. There's a Buc-ee's,
There's a Buc-ee's in Missouri.
Springfield,
That's true.
Missouri.
So we normally stick to those types of gas stations. We will stop at Casey's too. They're pretty reasonable and they're mostly a little bit more west too.
Pizza's delicious.
Their pizza is pretty good. So we're gonna stop at one of those bigger ones. We do stop at rest areas occasionally, um, but I'm normally one where I'd probably rather stop at a gas station normally. So, of some sort.
Depends.
Well,
We
yeah,
stop at
it just depends. It
certain ones.
it it does depend on the locations. They're like, when you gotta stop, you gotta stop. That just happens. So, anyway. Okay. Um, Next, we should talk about packing our bags. What do we normally do there?
I ask you what type of weather it's gonna be,
That is important. You should use a weather app.
and depending on how many days we're gone, depends on what suitcase we're gonna pack. If we're staying in a hotel for a specific amount of time, then we'll just pack the one suitcase and be fine, but if not, then we'll pack what we call to-go bags that we just take in so we don't have to take in the whole suitcase or open up the suitcase
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah, we normally plan out the days pretty far in advance, as best as we can. We know weather can be different, and sometimes you just got to risk it. But yeah, we if we don't have to open the big suitcase, we try not to. We'll put what we can, an outfit or two in a smaller bag, and then
Switch it out later.
you switch it out at the next appropriate place. We did that a lot with the Mount Rushmore trip, just to keep us a little organized. I think we did take 2 bags apiece. One was a little smaller, one was bigger. What worked out well with that one, and I keep bringing it up, we had different legs. So we had different sections. We had kind of the first section that was a little different, and then
One nights in each
yeah,
hotel
that was a little
and
different. And then we stayed in Minnesota for a couple days, so that was kind of like a leg. And then we went
why
obviously
wasn't it an arm?
it's called a leg. I don't know. I didn't make up the words. I don't know. It's just called a leg. I don't
Are
know.
they arms?
There are arms, but it's called a leg. I don't know.
In your opinion.
No, that's what other people call it too. Anyway, so that's what we do with bags. Um, yeah, so that's one thing. We also, if we're ever going to a new city or location, I will research things with the city or location. Normally, YouTube is very good with this. Just to be clear,
TikTok.
TikTok's also randomly good with this. But you can always find the things to do or top things to do.
Airbnb has, like you can look at destinations, and they have
Hmm.
things you can do around that
Yeah.
city or
Also,
whatever.
also TripAdvisor is pretty good with that too. So we kind of use a mix. I like YouTube a little bit better. Shocker, I know, because sometimes they're pretty quick, and normally we're going to pick things that are similar or not similar. So that's it's kind of how we pick what to do in a location. Is that we also do kind of randomly pick things when we get there, to be honest. The one that and again, going back to the Mount Rushmore big trip, we were driving and we kept seeing this billboard for this restaurant, the Firehouse restaurant, and they had like actual fire trucks as their billboards. So we're like, we probably should check this out. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So if you're out in that area, maybe a place to.
Stop by the big green giant just because we
We
saw
did.
it on the side
Yeah,
of the road.
it was a random roadside thing. So we do that too. Some things I don't have planned. I want to make it to this hotel. Is kind of where I'm at. It's going to take X hours to get there. We do time box things. So if we're going to do multiple things a day, that does we kind of set a target time to leave by this time. Uh, that means we do miss some things sometimes, but we prioritize what we want to see. It works well for us. I mean, it might not work for you. I understand that.
Until there's something I get that I miss, and then I get, "Eh."
We try to get everything. We try to get all the major stuff. I'll say that, but there are some smaller things that we have missed. We do prioritize. Obviously, at theme parks, the big rides for sure, the big coasters, carousels. We focus on, and anything unique that's you don't see very much of. We
Right.
we definitely focus on those. So, and we figure that out. So, yeah, as we go. Okay. So if you're on YouTube, I'm going to show this. I'm not going to really show it. I'll take a screenshot of it, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Where we picked a day, I listed a day out, what to do that day, what hotel we're going to stay at, and how I booked it. And as I booked them, I kind of filled that in. I did a lot of research on hotels. So I'm going to book the hotels, how many miles it is to drive to that hotel, and then actually how many hours that is of driving. And so based on that, we knew
Without traffic.
without traffic. So we knew, and like I said, I use Google Maps for all of that. When I'm driving, I do not use Google Maps. I always use Waze. When I'm planning it, I use Google Maps to get me what is it on a normal day.
Don't know what Waze is, I highly recommend it.
So yeah, so I'll show that a little bit. One interesting thing is I had actually planned that trip completely backwards of the way that we did it. And we were kind of looking at it and realized I hadn't booked any of the hotels yet. We realized we were going to be at Mount Rushmore on the weekend. And we're
And we
like,
didn't wanna be there on the
and we're
weekend.
like, this is a terrible idea. So actually, what I did, I completely flipped it.
Yep.
And it worked because I knew the miles. I had everything down there. And so literally, I just flipped it. So I actually went around the other way. So if you did follow that trip, we actually did it backwards from the original plan. And then we were kind of reviewing and discussing. We're like, that could be bad.
Yeah,
So we're like, okay, well, what will this do? This will put us here on a weekend. And we're like, well, that's fine. Um,
which it was like Six Flags Great America, which we've
it
already
was
been
it
to,
was m-
so
it
I'd
ended up
rather be on a weekend
it
there
actually
than
worked out pretty well. I think we ended up at Mount Olympus
oh, yeah,
on a
maybe.
Friday, and then it looks like we did the Mall of America and some of that stuff on a Saturday. So we kind
Little
of
America on a Friday,
yeah,
which was okay, but there was school groups there, and I
which
was
you
like,
can't really plan.
"No."
If you're going to a theme park on the weekday, you might get a school group. I don't know what else to
Right.
say there. So anyway, I'll show that in the YouTube video. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll at least see that. But wanted to let you know, yeah, that trip was actually planned completely the other way.
Yep.
And that's why I wrote everything down so I could just flip it if we figure out a problem. So anyway, okay. What's our next section?
Ohio Midway Report.
Yeah, so
Guess what's
this
getting retracked?
more work is being done on the Beast.
What?
I know, shocking. Um,
Not the part that we thought was gonna get done.
yeah, I kind of knew this part was going to get done because
Well, he knew it was gonna get done. He didn't think it was gonna be the next part.
yeah, I hope, yeah, anyway. So Gravity Group is back doing this work. This is the third year in a row of
Mhm.
them retracking it. I expect at least a fourth year of them coming back. The first year was the first drop and the Helix, which was a huge project
It
in
was so
itself, which was
big.
great. The second year, which was last year, was the second drop right after the first drop and right turn. So right before you go up into the shed, and they've actually I forget what resequenced that a little bit. So that's that. This year, I don't know if we're going to notice as much, except it's going to be brand new wood on it. But in short, it's right after the second lift hill down into the Helix. That's what's getting retracked this year. And they have completely
They tore that completely.
like
It's gone.
they redid the foundation and footers. It was all gone. What it sounds like is this seemed like Tower Topics reported that this was a common problem for maintenance over the years and some, permitting issues and stuff with the state. So sounds like they finally are like, we're just redoing the whole thing. I don't know what that was about, but obviously it was safe. It just needed some extra work. So good to see. I don't know if we're going to see a big difference.
We'll feel a difference.
I think we'll feel some difference. I didn't think that part was that. I mean, there was one jolt there, but I didn't, it
It
was not,
wasn't terrible, but
it wasn't the part I thought they would do. But anyway, they
but
do.
the section
Mhm.
was huge that they replaced. Like, you look back there and it's like, oh, it's like a roller coaster tycoon. You just fall right off.
Yeah.
But it's about the size of Woodstock Express.
Yeah. That's what they reported. So the wood being replaced could build Woodstock Express.
Hmm.
So, literally a whole coaster, could be built there. So big plot of, wood there,
Retrack.
retracking there. They do have a couple sections left. I expect next year we'll get the one section that I kind of thought they would do because I thought it was riding a little rougher there, but we'll see. The maintenance team does a great job on this, just to be clear. Just the Gravity Group comes in with a completely different design on the track, and it's running a lot better in those sections. Um, Also, Racer got all this done to it. So if you've been on the Racer, you've
If
seen
you
that.
haven't ridden the Racer in the
Yeah.
last, what, 3 years, 4 years,
Yeah, I would rewrite it for
and
sure.
you thought it was really bad and you don't want to ride it because it's terrible,
Write it.
it is
Yeah.
phenomenal. It's so good.
Yeah. And
Gravity Group did an amazing job on both sides of those.
I would say the Beast is running a lot better than
I
it has
agree.
been. So,
I agree.
uh, it, I I remember it being a little bit smoother. I I didn't think it was running that bad, but that's me. I'm a Beast fan, so that's me.
I thought it was running terrible.
It was great. My favorite times to ride it, of course, are spring and fall when it's a little bit colder. I think it runs better. So anyway, I'm hoping. Like I said, I expect. Um, I would imagine it will open on time, but just stay tuned. They did a big section last year, and it did open on time. But the time before, they took the huge two projects, and it was a little late. So we'll see.
Well,
Uh,
they also didn't take all of the wood down and replace.
yeah, they have rebuilt it. I've seen some
Yeah.
Kings Island has shared some photos where part of it's been rebuilt. So I expect it'll probably be ready by opening day. Um, in April 18th, I think is opening day. Now that I think about it. So anyway, we got next.
Around the parks.
Yeah, yeah. So
What parks are open?
yeah,
Not Kings Island, not Cedar Point.
yeah. So if you're gonna take a road trip, you're gonna from Ohio. You're gonna be probably driving a bit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just
No,
there are some smaller locations that are indoors that are available.
just
Um,
one coaster.
two places. There's actually an
One coaster in each place.
okay, so we'll get there. Anyway, if you want to do an outdoor park, Florida, Texas, California, probably your best bet right now. Um, Probably target those. If you're looking for something in Ohio, Scene 75 in Dayton and Columbus
Yep.
are open. They're indoors. They're open all year. Both of those have a roller coaster. The Scene 75 in Cincinnati does not, which I never understood why they never got one.
We call it the Giga Inch coaster.
The one in Columbus is really small. The one in Dayton's pretty decent size. Those are open for you. Young's Jersey Dairy Carousel's open if you
Yep.
want that, and ice cream also. Um,
So good.
it's pretty good. Um,
And zoos.
yeah, they're open. Good luck for rides,
I
but
was gonna say, are
something
roller
to do.
coasters
Yeah,
running
not
during this
not
time?
normally, but you can go to zoos. Zoos are good to go to, and aquariums. Also, I forgot to put this on our list originally, but you could go to one of the indoor. You could go to Mall of America if you
Ooh,
wanted that experience, or the American Dream Mall.
where's that
If
at?
that's in New Jersey, and good luck with what's open, and prepare to pay for that. That's all. I'll leave it there. So
Oh.
It's a bit pricey, and I think it's better now, but some of the rides are down. Anyway, next.
Travel tips. Here's some of our travel tips that we have. Get regular car maintenance. Find a good mechanic and visit them regularly. We
Yeah.
target about 5,000 miles per oil change.
Yeah, and
Leave it
tire
at
rotation
yep.
and standard stuff. Find a mechanic that you like. That's what I'll say. Obviously, we have found one.
Yes, we really
They
like ours.
and they like us because we visit them regularly because we go on road trips. But find one. It's very good to do this. Obviously, do the pre-check stuff. Make sure you're replacing your batteries, wipers, lights, all that fun
This is
stuff.
even if you're not going on road trips. This
You
is
should probably
just
just do it in general. This is a
get
good
your car checked
this is
out.
a good safety check. But yeah, always do that. We do that regularly, and obviously we plan things and rotate cars on trips and that kind of stuff. But anyway, and this is the first one where it was a road trip one, so I kind of felt we probably need travel tips, as in more than one tip. So what's our second tip?
Get an easy pass if you're traveling a lot for toll roads. We have one through Pennsylvania because it gets us discounts on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, which seems to be the most expensive, but it also gets you discounts on other ones, right?
I don't know. I feel like it did in North Carolina for some reason. There's one road if you're going a particular way in North Carolina. Yeah, I think we went to Carowinds to a beach that it seemed to give us a discount on. I don't know if it gives us discounts on the other ones, but it all works on pretty much everyone on the East Coast, which is very
I had to
helpful.
fight Matt to get an easy pass.
It took me
He's
a
like,
while.
"It's not worth it." I'm like, "Just get one. We'll go from there."
It
And
Yeah, it wasn't worth it until Pennsylvania had a deal where we got one and it offered, I don't know, it's a chunk. So we don't I use it pretty regularly. So
especially
it's
going to Hershey and
yeah, going to Hershey, Busch Gardens, Florida. Also,
Florida.
it does work in Florida also.
Florida.
So if you are not wanting to take the I-4 and you want to take the expressways, go for it. It also works on the Florida Turnpike, which is nice. So it's very convenient. Do recommend that. Anyway, next section.
Food. Quick bites. These are our favorite travel snacks.
Yeah, so and this obviously rotates. I would say Buc-ee's, but I'm gonna skip Buc-ee's because
They're
Buc-ee's aren't
snacks,
available
not a
everywhere.
whole meal.
I can get snacks at Buc-ee's. Anyway, I have a couple. They're gonna be the Ritz peanut butter crackers, a little individual. Well, there's 6 of them in there.
Yeah,
Um,
don't get him nothing else. He doesn't like
I
those.
don't like the not Ritz ones. They're not as good. And then gummy bears. I do kind of snack on.
Albanese gummy bears are the best.
Normally Albanese. I'll deal with Harpio if I need to, but
They're harder though,
they are. They're
but
not as
they're
good.
good.
Anyway, you.
And my favorite snacks are Ruffles, and they have to be sour cream and cheddar chips, and Gardettos. I love Gardettos and any candy. I like candy. Reese's, peanut M&Ms,
I mean, I
Snickers,
could always eat candy too.
but snacks,
Make
we
sure you're
take
packing
snacks
snacks. If we're gonna do a long trip, we normally do pack some snacks with us
and drinks.
or stop at a place that makes sense to.
Sometimes we go to Sam's and get the big box of
Yeah, it
chips
depends.
for variety.
We definitely did that. Again, back to our Mount Rushmore trip, we did that with that.
I like how you're not calling it Gamma.
I know no one knows what Gamma is. It was cool, but yeah.
Tell them what Gamma stands for.
Great American Midwest Adventure,
That's
which
what we named our trip.
we did, and it really wasn't as Midwest. We went through the Midwest. We actually went to the West, so
Yeah.
the Midwest name, it made sense when I did it, but it didn't really.
We try to name our big road trips of the year.
I had to name it yeah, any of our big road trips is names, just it's easier than because that one had so much in it, it was all over the place, so I'm like, I don't wanna I mean, I can call it the Mount Rushmore trip, but it's long. Anyway,
Trail talk. This is for our question section, but we didn't have any questions the past episode, so I get to ask a question, and I don't get to get cut this time. So
uh,
my question is, what is your bucket list park? Your top bucket list park?
okay, so there's definitely 2. I would say probably the one that's on most people's list is Tokyo Disney Sea, for sure. So that's one. Just looks amazing. It's a Disney park. They had a lot of budget and they went over the top on it just because of the scale of it. And then the second one would be Europa Park for sure in Germany. When we went to Germany, we didn't make it to Europa.
Very sad about
I was
this.
sad about it, but we kinda had to make a decision between Disneyland Paris and Europa. We chose Disneyland Paris.
And I'm so glad
I
we did.
think it was the right call, because we got the Paris stuff too. Next time, we're gonna go to Europa for sure and some parks around it. I don't in a couple years, I don't we that's coming up on, we have some long-term overseas trip plans, and that's definitely on there. But I think with both of those, we're gonna need multiple days of both of those.
Yeah.
So that's another factor just that we're gonna have to consider.
Do you
So,
consider Tokyo Disney Sea and Disneyland Tokyo
I mean, it's
Disneyland
all
Sea?
one. We're going to both.
Well, I didn't know if you consider that one big park or just Disneyland or Tokyo Disney Sea
I
is
probably should have just I wanna go to the other.
that's my bucket list one just because of the Beauty and the Beast ride,
Yeah, I you can call the whole resort. I'm more excited about Disney Sea,
and I'm more excited about
but the Beauty and the Beast ride looks amazing, so we'll say
looks
that.
so good.
Okay. Do you have one?
That is
That's
it.
the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, if you do have questions that you want us to answer, please send those to mgmadventures@yahoo.com or directly on one of our social channels, or like I said, comment on YouTube. We'll take them anywhere.
Or comment on one of our statuses on MGM Adventures
Yeah.
on Facebook,
Whatever makes sense.
Instagram.
We like questions, but that's good. So anyway, definitely please like, follow, and share this with your friends or your enemies. I don't care who you send it to. Hopefully people that like this. Yeah, that's all we got for this episode. We'll see you on the next episode, adventurers.
Bye.